What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So I want to talk about the SHAQ Papa John's business venture that's about to happen, or that has probably already happened. One or the other. All right. So some folks, some black folks, are kind of like, feeling some sort of a way about this. SHAQ partnering up with Papa John's because apparently the owner had said the N word in some sort of a conference call or something, and it got out or something like that. And then also, the owner or somebody perhaps complaining about the NFL messing up pizza sales, the NFL protest messing up pizza sales, possibly. So folks, black folks was like, Papa John's cancel culture, right? And to be real, to keep it 100, I do actually like Papa John's pizza. All right, I will keep it real. I do. um, but I haven't had it in a while, actually. A good a minute now. Um, Oddly enough, I've actually been going to like a local pizza place. That's actually black owned, I believe. The last time I checked, it was black owned. I think so. I think it's still black owned. So like a black owned pizza place. Um, and also, by the way, people have been sort of coming through and like, oh, we gotta support black businesses. You know, we gotta support the black business owners. And I'm like, we don't necessarily have to support black business owners. We should, but black business owners are not necessarily entitled to black business. And where I'm coming from is just because you're a black business owner doesn't mean that you're down for the black community, first of all. Second, it doesn't mean that you are entitled to black business just because you are a black business owner. And also, third, you have to provide people with like a quality service. We can't just support black businesses that are extremely subpar just because they are black businesses. We have to be very discerning with our money, right? Again, just because it's black doesn't mean that it's necessarily for you. And as well, just because it's non-black doesn't mean that it's necessarily against you, right? I mean, people complain about McDonald's, and there's valid reasons to complain about McDonald's, but McDonald's does hire a lot of black people, at least in the ones I frequent. When I do go to McDonald's, I see nothing but black folks. But then again, I'm like in a majority black area, so whatever. But, they do hire black people, and, they do have like programs and scholarships for black people too. Again, it's a non-black company, but it does acknowledge black people and also acknowledges Black History Month too. Again, the scholarships, Black History Month, employing black people. So, things like that. So again, just because it's non-black doesn't mean that it's necessarily against you. And just because it's a black-owned business doesn't necessarily mean it's for you. Many of these people are just for themselves, and they just happen to be black. So we kind of can't just assume people are for us just because they have the same or similar skin tone as us and they happen to identify as the same racial group as we do, right? And that sort of leads me into the next thing. SHAQ. So I guess some people thought that SHAQ was pro-black. I don't know. A lot of people, thought that SHAQ was going to be our next black leader. Going to lead us to freedom. How? Honestly, SHAQ is just pro-SHAQ. And that's okay to be pro yourself and to be self-serving. It's okay to do those things. But for me, I'm just if you're going to be self-serving, just be self-serving. Don't be self-serving under the guise of like being for the community or being for a specific group of people when you're really just being self-serving. Again, and just be upfront with it, you know. And SHAQ, I think he's just being self-serving, you know. And I can't necessarily knock him for wanting to be self-serving. He probably just could have picked a different situation, but a lot of these companies have situations where the owner or somebody has some anti-black sentiments. Let's be real, and sometimes we ourselves are probably working for some of those companies. Are we going to quit our jobs? No, we ain't quitting our jobs until we get another one that's better. All right, you know, we ain't leaving, right? Because we got bills to pay, we got things we have to do, obligations, and also things we want to do, right? Like there's some black folks who are working at Chick-fil-A who probably are homosexual. I'm pretty sure Chick-fil-A has a couple of homosexual black people working for them. All right, I'm just saying. So yeah, SHAQ, he ain't pro-black. SHAQ is pro-SHAQ. All right. And also, y'all should have already knew what SHAQ was on when he spoke out against the Colin Kaepernick police brutality protest. He did. Like, you can Google that. Go Google that. All right. So yeah, he's definitely not pro-black, and he is making sure that them white folk know what side he on. Right. Them white folk know where he falls in line. Right. That he ain't on that Colin Kaepernick ish. Especially with all the businesses that SHAQ owns, he ain't gonna want to jeopardize that over protesting for against police brutality against black male bodies. Oddly enough, black male bodies that could be him if SHAQ wasn't SHAQ. Right? And honestly, even if SHAQ was SHAQ, it could still happen to him. Just because you're rich and famous doesn't necessarily mean that you are completely exempt from the black experience. It does sort of shield you from some things, but not everything, though. Right? So yeah, But again, SHAQ is looking out for SHAQ. Now, if SHAQ gets caught up in some police brutality, be prepared for him to come through and be on some fight the power-ish. Right. And that's when you'll see him get all pro-black. Again, because ultimately he's being pro-SHAQ. That's where that ultimately circles back to being pro-SHAQ. Right. Because he experienced the police brutality. Now it's an issue, all right? Not because of people who look like him and people who are in the same racial category experienced police brutality. It has to be directly related to him, all right? You think SHAQ gonna sacrifice all his businesses and sponsorship opportunities and all that good stuff to protest police brutality against some worthless black bodies? No. But to sum it up, yes, we should support black businesses. Of course, But we can't just support any and every black business just purely because it's a black business. We do have to do a little research at least and make sure that this business, first of all, if they have decent customer service, because as quiet as it's kept, sometimes black businesses and just black people working in customer service can offer really like mediocre, subpar customer service, which is a term which kind of turns me off to the place and to the, just the whole situation in general, right? So again, if you are a Black business owner, awesome, that's great. Just make sure you provide, at least decent customer service. All right, like just don't be thinking and feeling entitled to Black business just because you're Black. Right? Provide people with a quality service, a quality product, or something. Don't just rest on being a Black business. Be a great Black business. Right? And if it really is so great, other groups of people who aren't Black will probably come to the business too, right? And again, also you have to think about, hiring Black. And that's a thing too, doing business with other Black businesses. Those are things we should take into account too, you know. But we just have to make sure that we're not falling into, oh, all skin folk are kinfolk, when we know that's not true. All skin folk are not kinfolk. And that applies to business situations as well. But I'm going to bring this video to a close. That's pretty much all I have to say. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.